Welcome back to the weekly Education Pulse. I'm Sammy.
And I'm Tony. Each week we take you through the most important developments shaping the global international school market, from new school openings and investments to major shifts in curriculum innovation and regional growth.
Yeah, in this episode we're traveling across Asia, the Middle East and Africa, with updates from Vietnam, Egypt, India, Saudi Arabia and the Philippines.
5 stories, 5 different markets and a clear picture of how fast the sector is evolving. Let's get into it.
And we start in Vietnam this week, where one of the UK's oldest and most prestigious boarding schools, Uppingham School, is officially entering the Asian market.
Yeah, Uppingham has partnered with Viet Capital Education to open its first campus in Asia, located in Ho Chi Minh City. This is a big move for Vietnam's rapidly maturing premium international school market.
Yeah, the school is set to offer a full British curriculum pathway, with state-of-the-art facilities, strong pastoral systems, and a focus on arts, sports, and holistic development. Very much aligned with Uppingham's identity in the United Kingdom.
And strategically significant. Vietnam has been one of the fastest growing international school markets in Asia for over the past decade, driven by rising middle-class demand, international mobility, and a government that's increasingly supportive of foreign invested education projects.
Exactly. And what's interesting is the caliber of brands being attracted to Vietnam now. We've seen prestigious UK and Australian institutions entering through partnerships, signaling investor confidence in long-term demand.
Viet Capital Education, the partner in this project, is also noteworthy. They bring deep local insight and investment capacity, which is crucial for navigating Vietnam's regulatory environment, especially for premium foreign branded schools.
Yeah, the new Uppingham Vietnam campus is expected to position itself at the very top of the market, competing with established names like Saigon South, ESMIC being International School Ho Chi Minh City, the British International Schools in Ho Chi Minh City, and also the Australian School.
And from a regional perspective, let's look at the wider trends. Premium UK schools expanding in Southeast Asia, Vietnam emerging as a high growth education market, and schools groups forming deeper partnerships with local investors to scale sustainability.
So this isn't just a new school, it's another marker of Vietnam's rising influence in Asia's international education landscape. And shifting from Vietnam, we're going to Egypt, where the Al-Futtaim Group has announced a major new partnership with Dwight Schools, the well-known international school network founded in New York. Together, they will be opening a brand new Dwight School campus in Cairo, marking Dwight's first entry into the Egyptian market.
Dwight Schools already operates campuses in key global cities, New York, London, Seoul, Shanghai, Dubai, and they're known for their strong IB continuum and personalized learning approach. Adding Cairo to their global portfolio signals real confidence in Egypt's growth as a premium education sector.
Cairo has seen a surge in demand for high-quality international schools, not only over the past decade, but for quite some time, driven by a rapidly expanding middle class, shifting parental expectations, and more families prioritizing global university pathways. Dwight entering the market shows just how attractive Egypt has become for major international operators.
And the partnership with Al-Futtaim is key. They're one of the region's most experienced developers with a track record in retail, residential communities, and education-linked projects. Their involvement suggests the new school will be embedded within a larger master plan development, aligned with Cairo's wider urban expansion.
From what we know at the moment, the new campus will offer the full IB continuum, staying true to Dwight's signature model, with strong emphasis on innovation, creativity, personalized learning, and global connections across its worldwide network.
And it fits obviously in with the wider pattern we've been tracking. Cairo is no longer just a market for local and regional school groups. Global brands, whether British, American, or IB focused, are increasingly choosing Egypt as a strategic entry point into North Africa.
So Dwight's arrival reinforces that shift. It strengthens Cairo's position as one of the most dynamic and competitive education landscapes in the region.
And for families, it adds another premium, internationally recognized option, especially for those looking for pathways aligned to global universities and future-focused skills.
Well, now we're leaving Egypt and going to India, where Heritage International Xperiential School widely regarded as one of the country's most progressive and innovative K-12 institutions, has announced its entry into Pune, bringing its experiential, research-based learning model to one of India's fastest-growing education cities.
Heritage Experiential has built a strong reputation in India for its learner-centered, inquiry-based approach, particularly through its flagship campus in Gurgaon. The model blends experiential learning, real-world problem-solving, and interdisciplinary curriculum design, quite different from the traditional exam-driven school structures that still dominate much of India.
Yeah, and Pune is the perfect next location. It's a major education hub, home to universities, tech parks, startups, and a large population of globally mobile families. Demand for high-quality international and progressive schooling has been rising sharply, especially from parents looking beyond rote learning or memorization-heavy systems.
The new campus aims to shift to redefine education through a holistic framework, focusing on, obviously, experiential learning and applied learning, globally mindedness and leadership, creativity, design thinking, and personalized development.
And what's notable is that Heritage has always positioned itself outside the premium for prestige model. So instead of luxury facilities or brand-driven status, the value proposition here is pedagogy and learning experience. That resonates strongly with a growing segment of Indian parents.
Exactly. And that also aligns with the broader shift we're seeing in India's K-12 sector, new school models moving forward. With competency-based learning, inquiry-driven instruction, social emotional development, and interdisciplinary real-world learning. These reforms reflect the direction of India's national education policy, which continues to influence long-term parental preferences.
Yeah, Pune's international and progressive education demand has also been boosted by the rise of remote working families, returning Indian nationals, and tech sector professionals, many of whom actively seek a learning experience that feels global without the hefty fees of top-tier international schools.
The Heritage entry will definitely elevate the competitive landscape, with schools like Symbiosis, Victorious Kids in Educate, and the rising Cambridge IB segment. Pune is already growing. Heritage adds another strong player, one backed with a well-established philosophy and strong academic outcomes.
So a great example of India's evolving school mix, one where innovation, not just infrastructure, is becoming the key differentiator. And leaving India, I'm going to Saudi Arabia, where Cognita, one of the world's largest school groups, has signed a memorandum of understanding with the ROSHN Group, the national real estate developer backed by Saudi Arabia's Public Investment Fund. The agreement focuses on building new educational facilities within ROSHN's fast-expanding residential communities.
And this is a highly strategic partnership. ROSHN is behind some of the kingdom's biggest urban developments, huge master planned communities designed to support Vision 2030's goals for livability, economic diversification, and talent attraction. Integrating international quality schools directly into these neighborhoods is critical to making them sustainable, attractive places to live.
And Cognita is a strong choice for this. With over 100 schools worldwide, they bring global operational expertise, established quality frameworks, and the ability to scale quickly. They already run several schools within the GCC, including in the Emirates and Qatar, so this move expands their footprint significantly.
And what's interesting about this model is rather than entering established city centres like Riyadh or Jeddah with standalone campuses, Cognita is positioning itself inside ROSHN's new communities. Now, this reflects a broader shift we're seeing across Saudi, with schools being planned at the master plan stage, education treated as essential infrastructure, and the development driven by long-term residency, not just short-term workforce needs.
Exactly. The kingdom's demographic structure, young, growing, and increasingly globally connected, means demand for international and bilingual pathways is rising fast. Pair that with the thousands of new housing units being built across projects like Sedra, Al Arus, and Warifa, and you've got the recipe for sustained enrollment growth.
And for Cognita, this MOU is more than just land access. It's a foothold into one of the world's most rapidly evolving education markets. For ROSHN, Partnering with an operator of Cognita's scale and credibility helps anchor the social fabric of these new communities.
It's another sign that Saudi Arabia's focus on integrated community development, where schools, housing, amenities, and infrastructure are designed together, is reshaping how international education is delivered in the region.
Definitely a story to keep an eye on, and these projects come online. They'll influence everything from market competition to curriculum choices to long-term teacher recruitment pipelines across the kingdom.
And for our final story this week, we're heading to the Philippines, where North Anglia International School Manila has released a major feature outlining its vision for future-ready education, centered on technology, creativity, well-being, and global citizenship.
North Anglia has been steadily strengthening its presence in Southeast Asia, and this spotlight really enforces their positioning. The Manila campus emphasizes a learning model designed for a world shaped by rapid technological change, with innovation labs, digital literacy programs, and interdisciplinary learning built into the core experience.
What's interesting is how the school frames future readiness. It's not just about STEM or coding, although that's obviously a big part of it. It's about nurturing creativity, compassion, and collaboration. And the article that we got this story from highlights programs that combine academic excellence with social emotional learning, well-being initiatives, and global cultural awareness.
And this aligns North Anglia's global strategy, where learning extends far beyond exams and students are encouraged to build portfolios of real-world experience, design challenges, community impact projects, internships, and collaborations with institutions like MIT and Juilliard.
The school also emphasised personalised pathways, helping students identify strengths and interests early on, and providing structured support for university preparation and future careers. That's especially important in a market like the Philippines, where demand for international schooling continues to rise among globally minded local families.
And for Metro Manila, the premium international school sector is becoming more competitive, with parents actively comparing innovation, well-being, and global exposure, not just curriculum labels.
Exactly. So North Anglia, Manila, positioning itself as a leader in future-ready holistic education, is very much in tune with what families in the region are now prioritising.
And with Manila's ongoing economic growth and strong demographic trends, these future-focused models will only become more influential in shaping the next wave of international education in the Philippines. And that brings us to the end of this episode of the Weekly Education Pulse. From new premium openings in Vietnam and Cairo to experiential learning in India, strategic partnerships in Saudi, and future-ready innovation in Manila.
As always, these developments show just how diverse and dynamic the international schools market is right now. Every region is moving in its own direction, and the pace of change is only accelerating.
If you enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe.
And tell us in the comments, which of this week's stories stood out the most to you, and what trends are you seeing in your region?
And we'll be back next week with more global insights.
Until then, see you next time.